how can I make a list of tuples in Python? Say I need to pass a whole bunch of tuples to a procedure that I'm doing as parameters so that I can run the same statement over and over again in SQL. Say I'm using the Snowflake connector, or even just doing ODBC to some database somewhere, and I need a big list of tuples. How do I make a list of tuples? I'm your host, Sean MacKenzie, and today we're going to take a look at how to make a list of tuples in Python, and we're going to go through the process of looking at tuples that are the same length and ones that are different lengths, and how we can combine them using the zip function. So without further ado, let's get to our list of tuples in Python. Are you a programmer looking for your next gig? Make sure to check out the additional links in the description. Okay, so a very quick lesson today on how to do a list of tuples. And now you can actually have a list of tuples, and tuples are very handy for things like doing parameter lists for your SQL query execution. If you have one stored procedure that you have to run a whole bunch of things from a list from, and so what we're going to do today is look at how to create that list and how to get a list of tuples. So basically, the easiest sort of combination of tuples that you could do would be something like, here we go. We'll create a tuple A, which will be grape, mango, and peach, and we'll do tuple B, which is apple, orange, and banana. And we can print those just by issuing the print command, and we can print it and sort of take a look at what it looks like when we just print the tuples on their own, and you can see they come out as tuples there. And that's important because we're going to have some things that are going to change their type as we start to use different functions here. And we're going to look at tuple combinations in the same size lists, and when the list is a different size. And that's a problem that a lot of people run into, is how to combine them when they're a different size. But in this case, what I'm going to do is, the easiest way is if we wanted to just literally make a list of tuples, which we can do just by putting our tuples inside of a list, and then we can print that off, and you can see then we have a list of tuples. But what if we wanted to combine lists in a different way, which is the way that most people would want to look at it, when we have one list of, say, a whole bunch of things like ID numbers, and then another list of the corresponding values, and we want to combine those into tuples. Well, we can do that, and we can do that using the list function. And say we wanted to change our tuple A to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we change tuple B to whatever, apple, orange, and other fruits. They're out of order here, but we'll compared to the first example. So we have five of them, and we'll go apple, orange, banana, peach, and grape, and then we can combine these two, and so now we have two tuples with 5 elements each, and we can combine those using the zip function. And so in order to do that, we can make a variable for our list. We can say my list is equal to, we're going to use a list and then zip, and then we'll put our tuples inside of there to combine those. And so we'll do tuple A, tuple B, and then we can close brackets on that, and then we'll print that, and so that you can see what it looks like when we combine two bigger sets of tuples. And as you can see, boom, there we go. Now we've got almost like an ID number and a field value, or a key value pair or whatever, and you can use those in lots of different places, and that's very, very handy for doing data engineering work. especially if you're passing values as parameters to, to queries and stuff like that. But one thing that a lot of people run into is, what if I have lists of different lengths? So I just added 2 numbers onto the end there of the IDs without adding to the fruits. And as you can see, we get the same list back if we use that zip function, or if I say remove IDs, and now I have more in the second tuple, and you can see that it goes to the shortest list. And so this is something that people run into a lot. And one thing that you can do for that is you can use the zip longest function. And so that's going to come from itertools, and you can import zip longest, and then we can use that instead of the zip function in our sort of combining here, and we can just change the name to zip longest, and that's going to allow us to combine the lists of different lengths. And you can also specify a parameter for what to put in when there isn't a value, but for default what it does is it just puts in none. And so you can see now I've got my list 1, 2, 3, 4, and then none grape, as you can see, because there was no ID value associated with that one, but it kept the list to the longest. And if I added a whole bunch of ID numbers here up to 9, say, and I wanted to do that one, well, now you can see it's got the ID numbers all the way up to 9, and it puts none in for the rest of the values. So if you need to use one that has differing lengths, and you want to make sure that the tuples of different lengths, you go to the longest one, then you're going to use this zip longest function from itertools, and that is going to be very, very handy for you. And I should mention that it works kind of with lists as well. So if I convert this tuple into a list, so the name is misleading now, tuple A and tuple B, because it's actually going to be 2 lists. Now you can see I'm going to feed 2 lists into it, and it also returns tuples, a list of tuples. And so that's something to also make sure to know. It's a flexibility that's good for some situations. And that is how you can make a list of tuples in Python. Need help or coaching on your project? Make sure to check out my Patreon. The link is in the description. Hope you enjoyed today's discussion on how to make a list of tuples in Python. If you like what you saw today, please give the video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed yet. Click the bell when you see the bell. And if you have any questions or comments, make sure to put those in the comment section below. Have a great day, have a safe day, and I'll catch you next time.